welcome again to Ron's Opinion Don't Matter. Like and subscribe, hit that like button, all that good stuff. All right, how's it going? How's everybody doing? Sorry about that. Well, here's the thing. Don't have a whole lot to talk about today. Just wanted to get on this live and changing my dates to Wednesdays. I'm gonna try to do it at 6:30, between 6:30 and 7. Haven't actually figured out the exact time, but those are the times that I'm going to begin my lives. I'm not going to do Sundays anymore for now because NFL is getting back in season, and a lot of people that like to watch football, and I don't want to interrupt with that. So I decided I'm going to start doing Wednesday, and I'll eventually pick another day that I'm going to start doing lives, but Wednesdays from now on. Couple of things I wanted to get into, some political, some not. First thing is this whole situation with Dr. Umar challenging Steve Harvey and Ricky Smiley and D.L. Hughley on, basically challenging them to a debate. From what I understand when listening to what he said is he says he wants to debate them on the Democratic Party and why is it, I guess the Democratic Party supporting the black community, basically, and why should the black community vote for anybody in the Democratic Party, and what have the Democratic Party done? What's up, Chris Farrell? Welcome in. What have the Democratic Party has done for the black community? Which, if anybody really been paying attention, the Democratic Party has been taking advantage of the black community for well over 50 years. So that's one thing. But Dr. Umar, I'm not 100% a person that follows, listen to everything he says. I think he makes some good points sometimes and stuff like that. But I'm not 100%, I think Dr. Umar is right about everything. But what kind of got under my skin was Steve Harvey and them. Instead of just saying yes or no, we don't want to debate you, they start making jokes, talking about the fact that his school isn't open, and they basically went to try to attack his character. And here's the thing. I think that's a punk move on all three of their parts. And that's the reality of it is. Now, I'm going to pull Steve Harvey's card because for you to have her on your show or saying you support her, not long ago you were talking about Trump. You took smoke for you're supporting Trump. So they handed you some money. And as soon as they handed you some money, I don't know how much it was, but I know they handed you some money. And then all of a sudden you're Dr. Umar, eat him alive, huh? And you know what, Christopher, I agree with you. I think Dr. Umar, because not only did he actually invited Roland Martin in the fight too, in the debate too. And he said that to get them some help, because I guess he feels as though intellectually they can't hang with him. But, here's the thing. And back to Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey was one of those people that, he was supporting Trump. So I don't know what changed, what it is. But my thing is this. Understanding that Steve Harvey, Ricky Smiley, D.L. Hughley, and Roland Martin, none of them are living in the conditions that they saying you should vote for. Kamala Harris and Joe Biden has created a mess for the black community. And none of these fools are living in those conditions. So it doesn't matter who wins this election because they got money. They rich. They got security. They got protection. So for anybody to listen to these 3-4 people about who you should vote for, you have to be crazy. I would never take my voting advice from Steve Harvey, Ricky Smiley, or any one of them because they live a different lifestyle than I do. They don't care if the economy is bad because they got money. They don't care if food prices are high because they can afford it. They don't care if interest rates are high because they can afford it. Everything that affects you do not affect them. They don't care if that border is open because they got security. They can afford security because their life is different than your life. So for any average working American citizen to take advice from these morons about who you should vote for and who not, and for them to say they for the black community and even promote that, tells you right there they already done sold your people out. They don't care about what black people are going through because clearly they don't have a clue. Because if they really cared, they wouldn't have never even said that. They would have never said that out of their mouth. They would have said, you know what? We live a different lifestyle. So we need to not think from our perspective and our lifestyles and where we live and how we live. We need to look at it from the average American lifestyle and how this will affect the average American. And people coming across that border, groceries being too high, crime being through the roof, and all the stuff that's going on, you can't afford, you barely can afford the gas, you can't afford to buy a car, you can't afford to buy a house, you can't afford none of electric, gas, none of the stuff you can afford that they financially can afford because it doesn't damage them. It damages the average worker. So for the average worker to sit there and listen to the bull crap that's coming out of their mouth and say you should vote for this, obviously none of what has been happening in the last 3.5, 4 years has any effect on them. But if it affected them that way, guess what? They wouldn't be talking this way. See, because they don't care. That's the reality of it is. Steve Harvey, Ricky Smiley, Roland Martin, even though Roland Martin wasn't really one, and I know how he feels. He supported the Democratic Party too. And D.L. Hughley. All of them don't live the lifestyle that you live anymore. They might have at one point, but they forgot. They so-called blessed now. And for Steve Harvey, who talked God all the time, to even think to vote for killing baby Kamala Harris, killing baby Joe Biden, and killing baby Democratic Party, that clearly tells me that something is off with your relationship with God. Because you can't say you stand with God and be okay with what the Democratic Party has been doing to the black community. You cannot say that you stand with God and be okay with the destruction that's going on in the black community caused by the Democratic Party, and now you want to come full circle and support that? I have a problem with that. I'm sorry, I have a problem. I'd rather you just keep your mouth shut and move on your mouth and go into some other subject. But politics for rich people is different from politics for people that are average working and people that are poor. So what you talking, yeah, you might be fine if they get in office. Why? Because it ain't going to affect you. But the average working person is struggling. I'm listening to a lady, she's working 3 jobs to try to make ends meet. Yes, he do. You're right. He loves money more than Christ, because he probably wouldn't be talking that way if he lost everything that he had. I wonder how he'd be talking then. Exactly. But my thing is this: is that it's okay for them, but it's not okay for you. You should not want to vote based on their standards, because their standard of lifestyle is different than the average American. The bulk of America ain't walking around with security. The bulk of America is not walking around with gated houses. The bulk of America is not walking around with pockets and pockets of money where they don't care how high the food groceries are. They don't care how high the gas is. They don't care how high the average American is not living like that. That's rich people's lifestyle. So you sitting there saying that from your perspective is because you got money. So if the economy is bad, what does it matter to you? You got money. What does it matter to you? Y'all rich. So for you to say that, you have to be you're a moron. I'm sorry. You are a moron. You're an idiot. Because you're not thinking about everybody. You only think about yourself. So I know for a fact, I ain't even got to see the dollars. I know they gave you some money. I know they had to give you some money because you immediately change your perspective, because I heard Steve Harvey out, Trump ain't going to be bad. Trump going to be great. He going to make America, he going to make IKEA bring that business over here and make that furniture in America. Ain't that what Steve Harvey said out of his own mouth? Yeah, he did. There's video out there to see it. They say he said it on his own show a little while back. Now all of a sudden, they paid him enough money to make him come out for Kamala. But my thing is this: Kamala Harris and Joe Biden have been there for 4 years now, almost 4 years, and not one time did they run on the job that they done, because they did a horrible job. Everything about what's going on in this country is horrible right now. That's why they can't run on that. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to run a Hollywood race, meaning they're trying to just act like they're famous and rich and make all this excitement so people can vote for them, not realizing that they have no intellectual understanding of how this economy works and how America's system is supposed to work. but yet people voted for him. You don't have to be the smartest person to win this election because we vote. We vote for people. The thing is, we're not doing a good job at interviewing who we voting for. Trump, to me, in my years of living, what's up, Mike? What's up, bro? Welcome in. Trump, to me, in my lifetime, has been one of the most solid political presidents that I've seen in my lifetime. I'm sorry, in my lifetime. I used to like Bill Clinton, but I like Trump way more, by far more. I didn't like Trump in the beginning, but as I start paying more attention, I grew to like him as an individual, and I grew to like him as a president. That's why I personally want him back in office. But so for people like Steve Harvey, that's not their lifestyle. No one should be listening to Steve Harvey, Roland Martin, Ricky Smiley, or D.L. Hughley when it comes to who you politically should vote for. You know who you listen to? When you go in the grocery store and you see these high prices, that should talk to you. When you go to the gas station and you see these high prices, that should talk to you. When you go and you see all of the crime in your communities and all the stuff that's happening, that should talk to you. Those things should tell you, okay, the people that are in charge right now is allowing all of these things to take place. It wasn't happening when we had Trump in office. That's what should be talking to you. None of the other stuff. And they try to say, this is the funniest one. They say, oh, well, the stock market economy is doing better. You're right. Nobody can name any accomplishment because there is none. You're right, Chris, for real. There is no accomplishment. This economy and all that's going on, they're in office right now. And they did nothing to fix it. Now she wanted to be promoted and say, oh, when you promote me, I'll fix it. But in reality, why you ain't fix it now? You created it. If you could fix it, why you have 4 years to fix? And you didn't. Now, here's the thing, the stock market. They start talking about, oh, the stock market is up. Stock market is up. Economy is doing great. Now, here's the thing. I don't talk a whole lot about stock market and investing and stuff like that on these lives. But I do know the stock market very well. And I'm telling you that the stock market right now is not an indicator that the economy is doing well. The reason why you see the stock market is going up is because big money on Wall Street right now, they are trying to time. They're trying to time when the feds are going to start pivoting interest rates. That money that's flowing into the stock market is just Wall Street with their billions and billions of dollars trying to time when the feds are going to pivot interest rates so they can position themselves before the fluctuation and stuff. And so that's why you see the massive moves, because they're jumping in, they're jumping out, they're trying to see where the feds are at. That's all that is. It has nothing to do with the economy right now. That's why it's doing this all over the place. It ain't the economy. If they all sell off their stock, you'll see everything crumble, and the next thing you know, then it'll be where the economy stands at. But it's all Wall Street trying to time the market when the feds are going to pivot interest rates so that they can buy in, because they know now that the feds are going to support the economy instead of draining it. That's it. That's all it is. So no, when they try to tell you that, that's not the indicator. But how you know the economy is doing well is when businesses have to bring their prices down because businesses are struggling to make a profit. Now they have to compete for your dollar. Meaning that all of this product that's not being sold, we're going to have to reduce prices. We're going to have to compete for the dollar. We're going to have to be creative to get that dollar out of your pocket. We're going to have to get creative to get more Americans to spend money because the economy is draining. They don't have it like that. That's when you know that's when you see businesses struggle like that, then the feds jump in and say, okay, it's gotten too bad now. We see the prices and stuff and fluctuates. Everything is starting to fall. Then the feds will jump in and start supporting the economy, which is what they were looking for. It took them 4 years to even get inflation on a downward turn. And be honest with you, it's still not where it should be to me. But from their numbers, it's on a downward turn. But when you go into the store, I don't see it. Prices are still high. Because at the end of the day, the reason why the price is too high because they can't make a profit because they keep trying to pay people more money than these jobs are worth. And that's the truth of the matter. Why do I think RFK? Question. What do I think RFK? All right. I really don't have a lot to say about RFK because I don't really know. I really don't know. But I heard him say something about the food. And like they think that there's something going on with the food, poisoning wise. And I think Trump said something about it, but RFK is real big about this one. And I honestly think there is something going on with the food. I think they're putting stuff in the food that should not be there. I can tell by the way the food tastes. That's it. And if I honestly, listen, I'm going to throw this out here and see where it goes. But I honestly think that most people, whatever they're putting in the food, is causing you not to even want to eat food. You don't have no appetite. And I guarantee you that the more people watch this part of the video and say, man, you know what? That's the truth. I really don't have no taste for food like that. And that's why I know something's not right about this food. There's something that they're putting in this food that's not good for you. So I think RFK is on to something, but Trump said he wanted to put him in charge of it if he wins this election. I'm 100 with that. I'm good with that. I agree with that 100%. So, but as far as RFK, I'm glad he endorsed Trump. I don't really know a whole lot about him politically wise. So I can't really speak too much, but when he brought up the subject about the food stuff, it made me think, and it was like, okay, I really wasn't thinking about that. I'm like economy, safety, people trying to take my government, trying to take control of your guns and all that other stuff. So that's where my head was at. I really wasn't thinking about the food aspect of it. But once he said it, and my mind just kind of started going around like, you know what? I mean, honestly speaking, America has a health problem. We have an obesity problem. Our food is just, I mean, people in America is not as healthy as they used to be. I looked back at, like some old videos of people back in the day, man, and you rarely seen. You're right. She's right. She's the vice president, didn't do anything. She was in charge of the border. So she just left it wide open. That's it. You're right, Mike. She was in charge of the border, and she left it wide open. She didn't even try to fix the problem. She's a border czar. So-called border czar. But, I mean, I ain't never seen nobody get a job and never show up on it and still get paid. You was in charge of the border. You never went down to the border, and you still got paid to do a job you wasn't even doing. That's funny. Imagine that, me getting paid not to go to work. Interesting. That's an interesting concept, ain't it? You get paid not to go to work? Because that was her job and she didn't do it. But, that is what it is. I mean, you can't do nothing about it. The only thing we can do right now is do our best to vote, make sure that we get to the voting poll, make sure we vote for the candidate. We vote for Trump. I don't care about nobody else. Trump all day long. Trump, J.D. Vance. Somebody, if nobody want to agree with me, that's fine. I don't care. Trump 2024, that's where I'm at. I don't care about none of these other candidates. They're not offering anything. They ain't doing anything. They have no policies. They have no structure. The people that are in it right now have no plan to fix the problem because they don't know how to fix the problem. I know how to fix the problem. How y'all don't know how to fix the problem? That don't even make sense. If I know how to fix the problem, how y'all don't know how to fix the problem? So when I listen to Trump talk, I know what he's talking about. He know what he's talking about. So I know he know how to fix the problem. I know y'all don't know how to fix the problem because y'all never talk about how y'all gonna fix the problem. You're right, Shereen. You're absolutely right. And I agree 100%. These are leaders. Here's the thing. When Sheree says something about holding leaders accountable, and I'm going to be honest with you. If you look at Afghanistan, when we left Afghanistan, right? We left billions of equipment, 13 people from our military. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was 13 soldiers that got killed in that whole movement. Why nobody got fired? That's one reason why. That border has been open across the board. Millions and millions of people flooded across that border. Again, nobody got fired, right? Okay, let's look at locally. Gas prices off the roof. Economy's doing bad. Nobody's losing their jobs. I ain't seen this administration hold anyone accountable for failure. Not one. Now, here's the thing. They can hate Trump all they want to. But I know when Trump was in office, he was firing left and right. If you wasn't doing right, you was out of there. If you showed signs of stupidity, you was gone. Nobody should if you never fire nobody on your business, that means you're not paying attention to what's going on. Or you just don't care if the business fall, or you already in a position where you okay, you don't care how the business, rather it goes down or up, whatever. You're not even trying to manage it. And that's exactly what you see in this economy. And I think Sharif was 100% right on that. Not holding people accountable. Why? Because if you cared about the American citizen, you've seen the good food prices. I'm going to tell you what I seen Trump do. He went and got groceries. And he set them all across the table and showed you what it costs and stuff like that. That means he's not saying the economy's, he's not saying out of his mouth, oh, the groceries are high. He went and bought groceries and started showing it on TV how the grocery cost is different from then and now. He charts and all that other stuff. I'm like, man, why you going to do that? I'm like, that's a whole lot. But he's giving you very, very details of what he's paying attention to. Yeah, hit that like button and subscribe button if you haven't already. He's showing you details of it. Listen, this administration in here does not care about the conditions of your life whatsoever. I'm telling you, they don't care. They really does not care, and they have no solutions to the problem. Like I said, if I know how to fix it, and I'm not the president, I ain't no politician, I'm nowhere near that. I'm a regular everyday person, and I know how to fix this economy. And it ain't that complicated. Now, to fix the economy, is it going to hurt some people? Yeah, a little bit. But if you do it right, it's going to do very little damage. These fools don't know what they're doing. They don't even have a clue. You right, Vance will eat them alive. Kamala Harris and them, they're clueless. If you listen to what comes out of their mouth, if you look at the Democratic convention, if you even pay attention, I didn't really watch a lot of it, but all they did the whole time was talk about Trump. The whole time they mentioned Trump. They talked nothing about the border. They talked nothing about the economy, how they're going to fix the economy, how they're going to address this, how they're going to address the border. That tells you right there they're clueless on the job that they're responsible for. Listen, say what you want to say. Black people, we made a mistake when we pushed for Obama. That was a mistake. Say what you want to say, but that was a mistake. We voted based on skin color, and we did not vote based on. I didn't vote for him, but I ain't gonna brag about that. We voted based on skin color, and we did not vote based on policy and the policies that they had that they were presenting. When we look back, okay, yeah, we made that mistake. Now we got the black person out of president. That's out the way. Now we need to pay attention to policies. We need to pay attention to quality and qualified. Quality and qualified. And here's the thing, as a black in the black community, why would you want to give somebody? Yes, Christopher Will said, yes, I'm guilty. Why would you want to give somebody a job that you know they're not qualified to do that, and they're giving you're giving them a job that can detrimentally affect your life? Now, here's the thing. That's just like, and I don't want to be this mean and vulgar about it, but that's just like me knowing that someone's a child predator and I ask them to babysit my children. That don't even make sense. You know these people are incompetent. You know that they're stupid. They have no clue what they're doing. They already shown that in the last 4 years. Joe Biden has been showing that for almost 50 years because he's been in politics for 50 years and never accomplished anything. Literally, nothing. The only thing he ever bragged about is that he had an assault weapons ban, which changed nothing. Absolutely nothing. Now, y'all know me, I'm big on my guns. And anytime I hear politicians, I'm not, you can't get my vote. When you start talking about banning guns, confiscating guns, anything that's anti-gun, you'll never get my vote. And Kamala Harris is another one. You want to confiscate guns and take away people's guns, but yet you want to let all these criminals come over in America from these other countries. You and Joe Biden is more concerned about Ukraine's border than you are America's border. Y'all send billions of dollars to fix Ukraine problem against Russia. Y'all could have spent those billions of dollars finishing that wall that Trump started. No, you know what y'all did? Y'all took in and scrapped the metal for nickels on the dollar. Because y'all had no intentions of fixing that wall, and y'all said y'all wouldn't. But yet, again, I don't take my advice from people like Steve Harvey. I don't take my advice from people like D.L. Hughley. They don't live the life that we live. Their lifestyles are extremely different. I don't have no swimming pool in my yard. I don't have no chauffeur and I don't have security. I am my security. And I'm my family's security. I can't pay for some security to watch me. So when they start talking that stuff, they're not thinking about everyday Americans. They think about themselves. Yeah, you can deal with the fact that the prices of food and gas and it's high, cars high, house high. Well, y'all got money. Y'all got a lot of money. So y'all can stomach it. But the everyday American can't do that. That's why we need to have a president in office that knows what he's doing. That knows what he's doing. Simple as that. Now, I got a question for y'all and for those that are left on the live and stuff like that. What y'all think? Like, I want y'all to put in the comments. What do y'all think of RFK? So Chris Real brought up the subject. I want to know what y'all think of RFK. Let's put in the. Tell me what y'all think of him. You can say like him or not like him. You let me know. Let me know what y'all think of RFK. Like him or not. Put in the comments. But outside of that, you know, this. Okay, you like? I see one like. Mike said he really don't know him. Mike, I'm with you with that. I know a little more than I did know. But, you know, here's the thing. There's some things I don't particularly care about him when it came. Because he mentioned some stuff about when. Y'all know how I am about guns. If you've been on these lives and talked to me and seen my videos, y'all know. You start talking about anything anti-gun, you lose me. I'm sorry, you lose me. You lose me with that one. But I don't know to where his stance at with that. But I'm glad that he's doing the Trump train because hey, listen, he had 6% support in this election. So if that 6% that was supporting him, hopefully that 6% goes to Trump, and because he's actually supporting Trump. Because at the end of the day, if you look at Trump's policy, Agenda 47, it's common sense. It makes sense. The American United States is not a complicated country. It really isn't. You learn the system and you learn how it is, you can actually make a life for yourself. You really can. But outside of that, before I get off this live, and I try to do this every time, and I'm, number one, I think we need to pray for it. We pray for Trump because, I don't know if anybody know it, but there was a second attempt, and they didn't actually get a chance to, but there was somebody that was manhunting down because he said he was going to try to kill Trump. So shoot him, kill him, something like that. So this president, he needs to be prayed for. The other thing I appreciate about Trump, and listen, I don't know Trump's relationship so much with God. Okay, Christopher, you said you like him too? Okay. I don't know Trump's deep relationship with God, but one thing I can appreciate about Trump is he don't have no problem mentioning Jesus Christ's name. He will say God and Jesus Christ. I've seen him say that God and Jesus Christ countless times. Guess who I don't see talking about Jesus Christ? Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, not one of them. Not one of them. They actually tried to. Yes, Robert Kennedy. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, they actually, they don't mention nothing about God. That tells you right there who they work for. Their father's the devil, and I'm going to keep saying it. The Democratic Party worked for Satan. Their father is the devil. I'm going to keep on saying it because I know it to be true. Because they never mention everything about them at this point is about death. They never mention God in anything. They never mention Jesus Christ in anything. If you look at our Constitution, if you look at United States history, God was on everything when this country got established. They never do. You're right, Crystal. They never mention God. When you look at United States in the beginning, United States, you could tell, was a Christian country. It was established on the foundation of God. That's why when you look at our Constitution, they talk about the rights of being given to you by God, bestowed upon you by God, not man. That's why they don't want you to be able to take your rights away from you because man can't take your rights. God gave you the rights, then God is the one to take them away. And that's why our Constitution is written in the way it is written. It's that, you have the freedom and no one's supposed to be able to take away your freedom but God. That's it. Now, yeah, freedom has limitations. You free to move about the world, but you ain't free to just walk in my house. So freedom does have its limitations. Meaning that you're free to build a life for yourself, but you're not free to go take somebody else's. So there is limitations to freedom. But if you work freedom in the right form, you can make your life in America. You know, if you set all that stuff aside, you can make a good life from it. And at the end of the day, America needs to turn back to God. And it starts with God's people. Us. We have to humble ourselves and pray and turn from our wicked ways. And let God, and then God will heal our land. And people like Trump, God uses. You know, like I said, they can say, oh, he's not this, he's not that. But my thing is this, you show me another politician out there that's talking about Christ like he do. That's talking about God like he do. Not one of them. They don't mention it because they don't have a relationship with him. True that. You're right. True that. True that. You're right. True that. They don't have a relationship with him like that. They don't have no type of conscience of God. So even if Trump don't know the Bible and all the other stuff, he at least have a God conscience in his head that he know that there's a God. And he respects and honors him when he talks. He says it all the time. But most people probably don't listen. And my thing is this. I can get behind a president that believes in God. Because I'm not supporting any politician that don't. And Kamala Harris has never once mentioned God. She mentioned about collard greens in the bathtub. Nasty. That's great. That's just gross. The thought of it alone was just gross. If I was one of those people that in the house and I ate some of them so-called greens that she made in the bathtub, she'd get a back smacked out of me. I'm sorry. How you going to wash back? Really? You going to wash greens in the bathtub? Really? That's disgusting. And this is the mentality that people are willing to vote for. Really. I mean, I think she was lying. To be honest with you. I just think she made it up at the moment to try to appeal to black people. But that's nasty. That's just nasty. Washing collard greens in a bathtub. That's disgusting. But, you know, we need to pray for this. We need to pray for Trump and Vance because I just feel like they're under attack all the time. And at the end of the day, we also need to pray for each other. And, you know, my hope, and this is just me personally how I feel, my hope is that, like Martin Luther King said, that we get off this skin color stuff. That we be able to embrace each other based on our character and our content, not skin color so much. Because it's just, to me, it's just become, you know, you can't control everybody's behavior. You're right. Safety, you're right, for his safety too. And you can't control everybody's behavior, but you can work on your own. And oh, okay, Cherie, you want to work in government? That's a tough one. You want to work in government? You want to go to law school? They must have really pissed you off. And I'm to be honest with you, I would encourage you to do so because I know you. And I know you would do the right thing by people. And that's the truth of the matter. I know you, and I know you would do the right thing by people because you care about people, just like I do. You care about people. I thought about running for some type of office. I thought about it, and I thought about it again, and I thought about it many times. But the few times that I've been around politicians, I don't like their aura. I don't trust none of them. Because I feel like they hold a lot of them are criminals. And that's the truth. But here's the funny thing. I went to J.D. Vance thing, and that was a little more close quarter situation. Because I wanted to get a better idea of what type of person he was. Yeah. And that was me being at political event. And there was a lot of politicians, you know, other politicians there. I noticed what they were, you know, politicking and stuff like that. But, you know, okay, yeah. I mean, to hear you talk about going in law school or going into government, going into politics tells me, you know, they got under your skin like they got under mine. And I thought about running for some type of office. Wow. She said, you're right. They raved over them. There's nowhere in the world people raved over her making some collard greens. Listen, I like collard greens. And there's nothing about her that says she know how to make collard greens. First of all, in order to make good collard greens, you had to have grown up under Big Mama. And she ain't got no black family from that time period that really knows how to make some real downright collard greens. So what she talking about, she don't know how to make no goddamn collard greens. She just made that crap out of her head. First of all, you know she don't. Oh, I had to make him in my bathtub. Yeah, you crazy. You had to wash him in the bath. You done lost your mind. You ain't did nothing like that. You're lying. But, you know, I thought about getting into politics. I mean, like really running for some type of office. Because I want to show people how easy it is to fix problems. Because I know how to fix problems. I'm good at fixing problems. But it ain't that complicated. But then it'll show you. I know it is. I'm with you, Sharia. They pissing me off too. And I'm quite sure other people in the lives are getting pissed off too. But listen, I thought about it. And it still plays back and forth in my head. Because at the end of the day, that's why when I look at politicians now, I pay a lot more close attention to it than I used to. And here's the thing. None of these politicians are perfect. They're not going to be able to solve every single problem. They're not going to get everything 100% correct. But my thing is this, is that if you go look at the character of a man, that's going to give you a good idea of what type of person they're going to be in leadership. Now, here's the thing. I'm not saying that Trump doesn't have flaws in his character. But I look at everything, not specific things. Like somebody say, oh, he's a womanizer. Well, I look at the stories behind it and I say, okay, that's not what he actually said. Y'all making it into something that it isn't. But then I look at, well, if he didn't like women, why would he have all these women working for him? When he did that whole skating ring thing down in New York, he put a woman in charge of the whole construction thing. I'm like, y'all not making sense. Like, you know, and like, y'all not making sense when he put, you know, the person that was defending him in court was a woman. Like, y'all not making sense. So it's like y'all making this stuff up out of the top of your head to make people angry with Trump. But in reality, none of y'all don't realize that what y'all saying out of your mouth doesn't make sense, because I'm looking at what his overall lifestyle, because it's very public. So it doesn't make sense what y'all saying. Y'all lying. You're not making sense. Like, how can you say that when he got all these women working for him? Then he was at another convention and another lady pulled the black lady up on stage, was like, you know, what you know how to do? He was like, we need people. And we're trying to offer a job right there. He said they could work out the numbers. So y'all not making sense. You just don't. And my thing is, I don't like when the Democratic Party try to push hate. Push truth. Tell us the truth. That's it. If you tell the truth and Trump tell the truth, then let the people decide what they want to do out of that. Because I'm be honest with you, Trump tell the truth. He tell the truth. And my thing is, a lot of people don't like how he say it. They tell the truth. That's the reality of it. He's telling you the truth. Everything he was saying they was going to do before they got in office and after they got in office was 100% on point. He said. Everything he said they was going to do, it happened. And I'm like, you can't make that up. You can't just guess that good. You got to know something. So when he saw what their intentions were, he knew that they was going to mess up this economy. And that's why he was fighting to try to keep himself in office, because he knew they was going to screw up this economy. Man, he was like, man, I did such a good job. Everything was flowing. People was happy. People was enjoying life. They was able to go out and didn't have to work so hard to try to maintain the lifestyle. Everything was wonderful. They're going to go mess all that up. These idiots going to come in there, they're going to mess it up with these stupid ideas that they have. And that's exactly what happened. And they did not care who it hurt, who it damaged, who life is screwed up. They didn't care. And it's only going to get worse. Even if Trump win, I believe Trump's going to win, but even when Trump gets in office, we still going to have to stomach some stuff, because it's not a quick fix. He got 4 years, and that's it. So I'm already looking beyond him. I'm looking for somebody that's going to pick up the mantle after him, because we're going to need 8 years to fix this, not 4. So I'm like, okay, I'm looking at Vivek. I'm looking at, you know, a lot of the other candidates on the Republican side. I ain't looking at nothing on the Democrat side, because all of them is evil to me. At this point, y'all can't talk to me about nothing. I'm sorry. Y'all evil. Y'all work for Satan, and everything about y'all party right now is demonic. So I'm sorry. I can't ride with that. So that's why I have to look at the Republican side, because I do see a lot of good stuff on the Republican side with some of the candidates beyond Trump. And here's the crazy part. I like Vance. Like, you know, I'm with Sharia on this one. I like J.D. Vance. I didn't know who he was, and I started digging into him, went to the rally and stuff like that, listened to him speak and stuff like that. And I quiet as kept. I was telling somebody, like, I kind of wish Vance was Trump and Trump was Vance. I want Trump policy, but I wish Vance was the one kind of like spewing the message. Because I think he resonates a little bit better than Trump do, but I don't think he's smarter than Trump. I just think he resonates with people a little bit better. But you know, it is what it is. But I like Vance. I would actually be okay with Vance being president at this point. But I know there's a lot of good other Republican politicians that are good. But I like Vance. I still have a lot to learn about him, but I actually like him. I grew to like him because I didn't know who he was at first. But when I listened to him talk, and when I went to that convention that they invited, they only invited about 1,000 people. That's why it wasn't like a big facility. The facility wasn't even that big. You couldn't put a lot of people in there. But for those that was there and the people that was around and the stuff they're talking about, I got a video where I videotaped almost the whole event. Not everything. It was a lot of stuff that didn't go on video. But when I was there and I was just interacting with people, it was pretty cool. It was cool. Like the people were real nice. They were real friendly. What you see on camera was exactly how they was before then. When I was in line waiting to get in, everybody was having conversation. Nobody really knew anybody, but they were just talking, laughing, and joking. So, when you want to be around decent people, you got to find where decent people go. That's it. And they were there. That's why I like the gun show so much. Like when I go to the gun show, I like the people more than anything because everybody's just so cool. Down to earth, cool, talk, laugh. It's a great environment. Yeah, they saying the polls are close, but my thing is this. Most of us probably spend a lot of time on YouTube, on social media. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't see nobody supporting Kamala Harris. Only people that support Kamala Harris is famous people. The famous people they paying to do it. Where are the YouTubers at that promoted Joe Biden and Kamala Harris? Where they at? Because I look at a lot of YouTubers and I see all the ones that supporting Trump, they got millions of followers. Like Doc Rich, he got millions of followers. He been talking about Trump for the last year and a half, 2 years. I don't see nobody that support Kamala Harris and them on that scale. None. That's why they got to go find famous people because there is none. Listen, I'm on YouTube. I don't have a big following, but I'm on YouTube. I don't support nothing about the Democratic Party. And I can name a lot of YouTubers. If you go down to people that I subscribe to, a lot of them, all of them talk about Trump. I don't see nobody talking about Kamala Harris. I tried to Google it. I tried to go on YouTube and put in Joe Biden supporters. I couldn't find nobody. It kept bringing up Trump stuff. Now, I don't know about now because that was a few months back when I did it. But, so I don't agree with none of what the polls say. I don't think the polls have an idea what this. I think it's going to be too big to rig. I think the polls are trying to say that because you understand, the media is owned by... Yeah, you're right. The media is owned by... The media is owned by the people that hate Trump. The liberals that hate Trump. You look at the Democratic Convention, billionaires are there. They don't like Trump because Trump won't play ball with them. Meaning that he won't do what they want him to do. Trump wants to go after, take care of the American citizens. Those people in Wall Street and big businesses, they want Trump to make decisions based on their pockets so that they can get richer and richer and richer. Greed. Trump said, no, I'm not doing that. I don't want your money. I don't want your money because if I take your money, you want me to do what y'all want me to do. You're right, Chris, for real. Too big to rig. So that's why they don't like Trump. They don't want Trump in office because Trump does not do what big business want them to do. The decisions that he's been making and the policy that he's been writing and the way that he's been directing the United States to go has been great for the everyday American citizen. Maybe not is it hitting everybody? No. It's not helping the rich get so richer, more richer. And it's not making the poor get poor. But it's giving the poor opportunity to better their lifestyle. And it's giving the middle class, which is the bulk of America, a chance to keep what they work for and live their life in a better situation. And not have to be stressing over bills and robbing Peter to pay Paul and all that other stuff. Don't make sense. But with all that said, I'm getting ready to go. I'll be doing these lives around 6:30, between 6:30 and 7 on Wednesdays. I'm going to cut out Sundays for now. Appreciate everybody that was in on the live. Like and subscribe. Please do me a favor. Watch these videos. Watch them over and over and over and over. Get all the depth information that you can get out of it. I think what I'm going to change my next Wednesday, for those that are on here, I'm going to change it up a little bit. I'm actually going to talk about something that I swore I never do on public. I'm going to talk about the stock market. Just a little bit. I'm not going to get deep into it. But I'm going to talk a little bit about the stock market and talk a little bit about how I invest. I don't really like to talk about it because I try to keep that private amongst my family members and stuff like that. But I'm going to talk a little bit about it. And everyone have a wonderful day. If you don't have Christ in your life, make him your Lord. Make him your Savior. Give your life to Christ. You can never go wrong with that because Jesus loves us all. Y'all have a blessed and wonderful day. Goodbye.